Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good morning. How are you? How you feeling? We want to answer some questions today. This lovely morning. If you have a question, please let me know in the comment section. Good morning, Bella. How are you? How you feeling? Hi, good morning, Juliana Abraham. How you feeling? We want to answer some questions, okay? If you have a question, please put in the comment section. Uh, and I want to go over the latest immigration news. I'm checking on my phone. I want to go over the latest immigration news. Then I'll let you know what we have as news. What happened to Dignity Bill? Oh, no news. Good morning. Good morning, Donso. How are you? How you feeling? Dignity Bill. Let me check. Let me check about the Dignity Bill. I don't think there's anything going on about it. If there was something, we should know by now. If you had an immigration case and were denied trust, what would you do? First of all, we need to know what type of case you had and why it was denied. We have first, what type of case was filed and what is the reason it was denied. That's how we will know what you can do, right? Based on that. Can they make on your master hearing? I have 230 approved. What is 230? Are you talking about I-130? Can they make on your master hearing? Can they make what? Can you please refer? Marriage petition case. Okay. And what was the reason why it was denied? Yeah. If we know the reason why it was denied, then we can talk about it. First of all, there's no news about the Dignity Act. It was introduced on July 20. It was introduced, okay? And since then, I don't see any updates. Look here. This is the latest article of 2020 on July 2022, which was last month. Yeah, I don't see any updates, to be honest. When it comes to Dignity Act, I don't see any updates, okay? And Bella, can you ask your question? Can you rephrase your question? I don't understand. Not enough evidence. Okay. When it comes to marriage, green card based on marriage, if you don't have enough evidence, you just have to refile with more evidence, right? When they talk about evidence, if you're living with the spouse together, the most important thing is commingling of assets. You have to have things that show joint, like you commingling asset, like everything is being done together. If you don't have evidence, what we suggest you add additional affidavits from people who have personal knowledge of the marriage in question. So yeah, this, it requires that we go through it to know exactly what they said, what was missing. Then we can advise properly. But most of the time, if it, you just have to refile with more evidence based on the previous decision. If you're still married to the same person, right? Yeah, there's nothing about that. Okay. Yeah, let me see if we have anything else. Bella, can they make decision on the master hearing if you have I-130 approved to marry? Okay. If you want to terminate removal proceeding because you have I-130 approved, you have to file a motion to terminate. Okay. You file a motion to terminate before the hearing. That way, when you go to the hearing, if they haven't decided on the motion to terminate, then they can decide on that the same day of the hearing. That's what we usually do. If you don't file a motion to terminate removal proceeding based on I-130 and you go to the master hearing, so what are you really asking then? At that master hearing, you're gonna say adjustment of status. Then the judge is gonna order you to file adjustment in court. So if you don't want to file adjustment of status in court, you have to file a motion to terminate based on I-130 approved prior to going to the hearing. So by the time you get there, the judge has already read the motion and decides. Okay. Still married. Yeah, you need to just refile with additional evidence. But this time around, you really have to have somebody who knows what they're doing, so they can go. Yeah, they can go with you to provide additional evidence and advise you on what type of evidence that you have to provide, basically. I do file the motion. Okay, so then on the day of the hearing, then you tell the judge to decide about that motion that you already filed. Yeah. Then the answer is yes, they can make a decision. Yeah, because you've been denied twice. Obviously, you're not doing it properly. The answer is yes. Yeah. The simple answer is yes. If a person has been denied twice, it means something they're not doing good. They better get advice from somebody who knows what they're doing. Good morning. I-130 approval, have motion to reopen marriage to U.S. citizen. I-130 approval, will they reopen your case? You can try, because if the case has been decided long time ago, it's just now a matter of chance. Yeah. Okay. Do you know how I recommend myself, of course. What do you mean you know a lawyer? I will recommend myself. I'm a lawyer, okay? I'm recommending myself. All my consultation links is in my bio. My consultation link is in my bio. Schedule a consultation so we can talk about your case, okay? Oh, merci beaucoup pour votre réponse. Bella, de rien. If you have an immigration case and they give you Board of Appeal for 30 years, what do you mean? If you have an immigration case and they give you Board of Appeal, what do you mean by that? Like the case went to the Board of Appeal, 30 days, then you have to appeal within 30 days. If you don't appeal within 30 days, then whatever decision the judge said, it's going to be final. So you have to appeal within 30 days. or you need my info. Let me get my consultation link. I'm trying to open a new window. Nowadays, when I open a new window, okay. Let me open a new window so I can get my yeah, my consultation link so I can send it to you. Okay. Yeah, my consultation link is right there. After the message from Bella. You can click on it and schedule your consultation, okay? Or you can copy it when you have time, then you schedule consultation. Vraiment, merci. So today, other people now they want to speak in French. You guys are something. Yeah, you need to appeal within yeah, you need to appeal within that 30 days. If you don't appeal within 30 days, the decision of the judge becomes final. Okay. I wanted to see if what's going on. Hold on. I want to see if we have news. Hold on. Let me see if we have news. Um, I want to see. Um, the only news we have is no, we have a lot of news, but the one that is relevant to us at this point is basically uh, in the sea. You're gonna see a lot of federal, like basically the military in the street in terms of law enforcement agent, because that's what Trump wants. Uh, yeah. So just be aware if you're in the DC area, because that's what they're doing, so they can do a lot of arrests. Over 60,000 people are now in immigration detention. ICE detained green card holder returning from vacation after 23 years in the US. ICE want to recruit more so they can, deport more. ICE is denying people bond to keep them locked up. Yeah. So that's basically that. Yeah. What else we have going on? When it comes to USCIS basically what they're saying is that they can send a case to court if they feel like the person is deportable, even if they have a case pending, they can be in court. They can find themselves in removal. So that's something to know. What else we have here? Investigation. USCIS is investigating a lot when it comes to fraudulent marriages, anything that has to do with fraud or anything. USCIS is investigating a lot. Okay, what else to say here? What is the new policy about family-based adjustment? When they, what do you mean by the new policy about family-based? When they say that they are going to, basically, are you referring to when they're talking about interviews? Interviews, like they're gonna interview I-130 if they feel like the person has been married before, the person is in removal proceedings, there's some suspicious of fraud, and then if the person has withdrawn the petition, are you referring to that type of policy, or maybe another new policy that I don't know? Yeah, are you referring to that policy, the interview type of policy, or which policy are you referring to? Because I don't, a lot of people are talking about new policy. I don't know what policy you guys are talking about. Good man. Bonjour, ma soeur. Bonjour. Reasonable fear. Reasonable fear simply means that if a person is, if you're claiming asylum, then you have to make sure that you meet the standard of reasonable fear. Like you actually are afraid that you are going to be persecuted, and the fear has to be reasonable. Yeah, if you're referring to asylum, yeah, your fear has to be reasonable. Just the way you that's the standard basically for asylum. Hi, hi, how are you? Okay, we don't do it. Osen, I don't know what you're referring to when it comes to new policy. USCIS new family-based policy. Let me look at it. I'll see there's a new policy. Okay. USCIS implemented new policies for family-based immigration. Okay, which changes how they calculate the child status. But the new policy is talking about the children, how you calculate about the children. I'm assuming you're an adult, right? This policy doesn't affect you if you're adult. Let me see what you mean by that. Let me see. Mm. Okay. Okay, so USCIS is updating the manual. And what are they talking about? They're talking about the new guidance applies to requests filed after August 15. Okay. If the request is filed after August 15, that's when it's going to be applying. What are they talking about? Provide a means to calculate the alien age that considered then an immigrant visa number becomes available. If an alien is applying for adjustment of status under a family-sponsored employment-based preferences or diversity visa, they must seek to acquire lawful residence within 1 year when the visa becomes available to benefit the child calculation. Okay. Yeah, that fell into sick. Okay. But anyway, that's hasn't. What I have TPS pending and I have interview for green card. Do I be afraid for what? Why would you be afraid to go to the interview, especially when you have TPS? Why would you be afraid? Because TPS is almost like TPS is deferred action. When a person is under TPS, the person is considered for that time being lawfully present and they cannot be deported. So why are you afraid to go to the interview? So if the interview is based on marriage, the real question is the marriage valid? If the marriage is valid, then you shouldn't be afraid to go to the interview. Okay? Reasonable fear. Reasonable fear. Okay. Yeah, reasonable fear, it's a standard when it comes to asylum. When a person applies for asylum, they have to have a reasonable fear. Fear of persecution, and the fear in question has to be reasonable. If it's not reasonable, you you're not really afraid. Really, that's just the standard they use. I don't understand the question. I heard people saying you deny if I have legal status, then what? Oh, you heard people saying USCIS is deny pending if the person have no legal status. Don't listen to people. Yeah, first of all, don't listen to people. Because people are get the green card so they can be in status. That's the purpose of applying for green card, so that you can have a status. And if you're applying for green card under family base, violence family base, it covers unlawful presence. Immediate family member covers unlawful presence. So if a person gets denied the green card, there must be some other reason other than unlawful presence, especially when it comes to immediate family base. So that person that got denied, it is surely for something else, not for unlawful presence. Okay, if it's a family base, immediate type of family base. So don't be listening to people. Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, don't be listening to people. Be saying everything just to, yeah, no. Probably they got denied for something else and they're lying. Yeah. I'm sorry. Is this reasonable fear? I don't know. You're gonna have to Google it. I don't really know what is your question. What are you trying to understand? Yeah, just Google ACVR. What it says. You know, I don't have all the law in my head, especially the paragraph, the way you write it. 8 CFR 1208.3 31.31 G1, what it says. Reasonable fear of persecution. It says reasonable fear of persecution or torture determination involving non-citizen order removed under section 328B. Yeah, that. I guess this paragraph is talking about the people who have been order removed already. Now they're trying to assess if they have reasonable fear of persecution where they're trying to remove them. That's when they use this paragraph. So yeah, I don't know what your problem is, but in the context of asylum, you have to have fear of persecution. In the context of with I guess this paragraph is basically talking about the people who have been previously order removed. Now they don't want to go where they've been order removed, so they raise another fear. Oh, let me take this phone call. Okay. I think what you need to do, if you've already been auto removed, right? If you've been auto removed, what you need to do is to actually ask for another credible fear interview. That's how they do it. If they want to remove you to the country where you claim persecution, you ask again for another credible. You ask it to ICE because ICE is the one who actually detain people. So if you never appeal, if you don't appeal, the judge decision becomes final. If you appeal, at least it stays the judge decision. So you wait until the appeal is going to be decided. So if the appeal gets decided wrongly or it's the same response, you might go to federal court again, try to review it. Otherwise, if you get detained, they're trying to remove you. That's when you ask for another credible fear interview. So basically, yeah. So that's how it works. Okay. Um, what else? Okay. That's it. I don't think we have questions. The person who needed the link for consultation, I already put it in the comment section. Just please go ahead and schedule a consultation so we can talk about your marriage type of denial case. Uh, and the don't. So if you need a consultation, you should schedule it. This is my link. But anyway, other than that, we already talked about everything that we needed to talk about. Yep. Till next time. Bye bye.